In today's lesson, we're going to go over part 2 of drawings with an assembly, but we're going to talk about a very specific drawing. It's called an exploded view with parts, lists, and balloons. So let's get started. I'm going to go down to my bottom. I'm going to open up my assembly again. And this time what I'm going to do is let's make sure we get into a nice isometric view. Looking good. Maybe I'll zoom out just a hair and we'll move it up just so we have a little room to play with. Over here on my right side, I see 3 little tabs. We're going to actually play with 2 of these. The first one is called BOM table, sorry. We're going to open that up. And you can see if I open up a little bit farther by grabbing that line, I come up with 4 columns: item, quantity, part number, and description. Well, 2 of these I don't want. My part number and my description I don't want. So I'm going to right click and remove the column. Right click, remove. What I do want is I want the name of the part, whatever I gave it. Now I gave it very specific names when I opened these up. So I'm going to come over here to add column and I'm going to go select name. And you can see there's the name of my part. I'm going to close this up just a little bit. I don't want to save all the room. And as you can see, if I touch these over on my work area, the boundaries kind of light up yellow. There's my yellow pegs. So that's looking pretty good. So let's get into our explosion. So we're going to come down here to the 3rd tab, exploded view. And I already had one in here. Let's actually delete that one and we'll start a new one. We'll add an exploded view. And what we're going to do is all we have to do is come over here and we're going to click on one of the parts. Now you can see that I have the arrows and I have these little circles. The circles will allow me to rotate the part. The arrows will allow me to move them linearly. And that's what we're going to do today. So I'm just going to left click and hold down on one of these arrows. I'm going to slide it out. I'm going to slide it out just so I get that little bit of a white area in there. Now you notice that I have this line that comes in here. This is my line and tells me where I've started and where this part is going to. Now you can actually turn these off if you don't like. Some people like them on, some like them off. It doesn't really matter to me. Once I get to where I want it, let's hit the green check mark. I'm going to come over here and select another part. So I'll double click on that part. I'll left click, hold down on one of my arrows, pull it out so I can see a little bit of a white. I like that. Hit the check mark. Do the same thing on my peg right here. Double click on it. Left click. I'll pull it out just a hair. I like that. Left click on this one. And I'll slide that one out a little bit so I can see. Looks good. And the last one is my purple peg. And I'm actually going to move this one twice. I'm going to slide it out like this. And then I'm going to click on it again. And I'm going to slide it over just so it's not really close to that blue one. There we go. Now I want to give this view, what I see right here, I want to give it a very specific name so I can find it later on. So underneath my view cube here is that little drop down menu, and I'm going to select name views. And I'm going to give this, I'm going to call this exploded view. I'm going to call it exploded view 1. I'm going to hit the plus sign right here so I can add that view in. And once I got that in, I'll close that window up. And then come up here and I'm going to select done. I'm going to come down here to my drawings. And just like I did with the rest of these sheets, we'll go over here to our sheets and we'll open it up. We'll come up to the top. We'll insert another sheet. I'll select the insert and then I'm going to select insert again. Now, instead of going to my parts view and inserting a part like we did previously in part 1, I'm going to select assemblies. And my window should open up. If I got to select my assembly right there. Now my view orientation, I'm going to select down here. There's that view I created called exploded view 1. Let's select that. Where it says exploded, I don't want default. I want my explosion. So I'm going to slide this over here. Kind of see, there it is. I'm going to kind of push this up in the corner a little bit. I need all the space I can get. And I'm going to left click and place it. First thing I want to do is I want to right click, show shaded, and call that in. So now we need to put our parts list and our balloons in. And we're actually going to put another view in, but I'm going to put my other parts list and balloons in first. So up in the top here, I have 3 little icons for my tablets, my tables, I should say. And I'm going to select BOM. When I select that, I can bring this down and I'm going to put this down in one of the corners and I'm just going to plop it in anywhere. I'm going to move it in a second. And there it is. So now you can see my quantity, everything like this. So that little black dot there, I'm going to grab that and I can slide this around a little bit. So I'm going to try to get it as close as I can to the corner. The next thing I need to put is balloons. So I need to number these parts. So right up here is a little thing that says call out. I'm going to click on that. And you're going to be able to see that I can come over these parts right here and I can click on them and pull out. So I can click on that part. I can come over here. I can click on that one. I can come over here on this edge, click on that one, come over here on the green one. We'll click here. I can come over in the blue one. I'll click down here, and finally I'll come over the purple and click here, and you can see that automatically numbers them for me. So the last thing I want to do is I want to put one more view in, and let's just close that window up. I want to insert one more view, and I have a little area down here that I'm going to put it in. So I'm going to go insert. I'm going to go to my assembly. That's the assembly I want. And I'm going to put in just a regular isometric view down in there here in the corner. There we go. Of course, I'm going to right click, shade view. And the last thing is I'll come down here and I will change the name of my drawing. And that is it for part 2 for adding exploded views, parts lists, and balloons.